Hi, I'm James, the box office artist, and welcome to another episode of The Throwback. Now, this is a fun one because, as you guys know, as you can see from my shirt, I am a Star Wars fan, and I don't know if you've seen my Force Awakens tribute. If you have not, you could check that out. Maybe I'll put a card up here. You can check that out whenever you can. Check out my Force Awakens tribute. I just love Star Wars, and I did get the chance to do some official Star Wars work for the comics, and it was for Dark Horse Comics when they had the license way back in the day, and we're talking maybe circa early 2004, and I got the chance to do a short story for a title called Star Wars Tales. Star Wars Tales number 21 to be exact. I believe there were 3 stories in there, and I did the 3rd story. It was very short, 14-pager. Now, I never got any more work for Star Wars after that, but it was fun while it lasted. So, the other day I was scrounging through some art, and I found some of this old Star Wars stuff, and I thought, wouldn't it be great to show you that right now? Okay, so here we go. My first official Star Wars work. So let's start with the first page. I actually have all the pages here. Now you might notice this. Like, this is the cleanest I've ever done my pencils, mainly because they wanted me to go straight. They wanted to go straight to colors with this. So I tried to keep these pencils as clean as possible. So you will notice there is no blue line here. Absolutely no blue line here. Usually I would lay it out on separate paper, which I will show you in a second. I don't have that for this particular page here. But I tried to keep this as clean as possible because when I scanned it in, I needed to darken it. And I wasn't good with Photoshop back then, so I didn't know how to do that as well. Like, now I can see like all the different things I could have done. That would have been faster, and I could have been a little bit messier. But it is what it is. So let's take a closer look at this. Now, I darkened the camera a little bit just so you could see the pencils a little bit better than what it is. So for those of you complaining with the lighting, there's a reason why, just so you could see the pencils, okay? So this is page 1. Now, I admit I lost the script to this book. I lost the script, so I don't remember a lot of the things that went on with this. Like, this was so long ago when I did this particular story here. But I believe, if not mistaken, this particular character here, his name is Yuzan Vong. Yuzan Vong, he's the main baddie here. And you will notice something here. Like, I am proud of the first 5 pages of this book. The first 5 pages, I believe I worked the hardest on the first 5 pages. The other pages, I rushed to get done on time. Okay, so I don't exactly remember exactly when I did this. I'm looking here when this was released. It was released in 2004, so must have done this early 2004. So here, like, I had a big group of people here, and then I was working on reflections here. So this page wasn't that bad for what it was, you know. Let's go to the second page. Actually, let me zoom out so you guys can see the full page. So this was the full page, 11 by 17. This page. So let's take a look at. I actually have some layouts for the next 2 pages. So let me show you some of the layouts I did. Okay, so this was page 2 and page 3. Okay, so I did all the layouts like this size, 8.5 by 11. 8.5 by 11, as you can tell, my light's very strong here. But you can see how rough I did it. Okay, and actually, I don't have a final copy. Like, a lot of the ones here, the copies I have, they're not final. So, like, a lot of the panels, they actually flipped in the final. They either thought it would work better, or, like, because I'll be honest, I never gave a lot of thought to balloon placement. I think that's why a lot of writers didn't like working with me, because I didn't even give it a second thought. I just assumed they'll figure it out how to place the balloons, when I should have, worked on that and put that as part of the design. So I didn't do that a lot, and then they ended up having to flip panels in certain places. But as you can tell here, let me get closer, a little bit closer in. Like, this was the amount of detail I did in these particular layouts, just enough so I personally knew what was going on. Now, a lot of artists, they would send these and sign off. Me not being the at the time, being the naive guy, I wouldn't send these. I would just take these for myself, and they go straight to final pencils, and then say if they have a problem with it, I'll change it, no problem. But that's what they did. So let's start with this page here, page 2. So that was the rough. And then this was the final. This is to show you the final. This is what ended up being the final of that page here. Okay, so it's not that bad. Not that bad. If I zoom in here, actually, you see. I don't know if you could see this. I made her face too big here, so I had to change that. So I erased it. But I'm not sure if you could see this, but I really made a strong impression here. I pressed too hard with the pencil here, so I could actually see here that the face. That one I erased here. So I believe in post. That's why it looks like she has an eye in the middle of her forehead here. but yeah. So again, at this time, my main influence at this time was actually more Travis Charest, more than anyone else at this time. I wanted to be the on-time Travis Charest. Forgive me in the background. Not sure if you could hear that. My aunt, she's frying food here in the background. Oh, I'm hungry. But then you could see. This, I was happy with the detail with these particular ones here, little pools of water. That was fun. So just to bring you back here, I'm going to bring it back, and then you could see side by side the layout with the final piece of art. And the same thing with page 3. Not issue 3, page 3. Okay, let me move this out of the way. Page 3 here. So again, that is the layout, and we'll put that there. And then this is the final piece of art here. That is the final. Okay, so here's an interesting thing. Like, this is Dark Horse paper. This is Dark Horse paper. But I didn't use the front. I didn't use the front of the paper. Oh, actually, this is interesting too. What's it called? What I do a lot is, and actually I was going to show you this with the subsequent page, which I will do with the subsequent page. But, okay, let me explain the paper a little bit later. Or maybe I will show you with the other page here. Because I want to save what I did on the other side there in a second. If you look here on the other side, if you look closely, I'll zoom in. This is Dark Horse paper. This is the paper they sent me to work on, but I didn't work on the front. And the main reason was I didn't want these blue lines to try to get rid of when I scanned it in and tried to erase it. Again, I wasn't that great with Photoshop at the time. Now, knowing what I know now, it would have been a cinch to do it on this side and then darken it. Oh, the things I did, I would pretty much try to digitally ink these things back in the day. But let's get closer to this. Let's get closer to this. So we see here going on, just so you guys can have a better look at these panels here. Like things you notice now, like the hood looks off here. And I had a problem making my characters consistent, making them look the same from panel to panel. I believe Jim Zub mentioned that in his my interview with him, how artists, you gotta be able to make sure that all your characters look the same. It's cool to be stylized, but as long as the characters look the same and they could read the same. And then here we have the Force going here, pushing them back. I believe his name is Kyle. This guy here, his name is Kyle Katarn, I believe. So I believe all of this is not canon anymore, so none of this matters anymore. So I don't even know if this Lucius Vaughn character is still in canon, Star Wars canon. So let's go back. Let me show you what I meant by the back, what I actually did back here in the back. Okay, and I'll actually show you this with page 4 as well. Page 4, I did this as well, where what I did was, I actually penciled it, did it as if I was penciling it in reverse on the other side, okay? And then I would lightbox this, okay? So I would sketch it out here on this side. The main characters, I would pencil, like tightly pencil it a little bit. And then I would go and put this on the light box. And then what I saw through in the light box, then I penciled it. You might notice one thing with your art, guys. If you take your artwork and you put it in a mirror, you can see a lot of mistakes. Your artwork should work when you put it in a mirror. If things look off, if things look lopsided, then you know there are mistakes in your art. Now, if you're right-handed, left-handed, if you're right-handed, it's going to look odd when you flip it, okay? So it's someone who is left-handed, they'll look at your stuff and they'll notice those problems, but you might not notice those particular problems. Now, as you could tell here, I didn't understand lighting that well, okay, by his jacket. This makes no sense here. Why is it lit up on this side and then it's lit up on this side? That doesn't make any sense at all. That's not consistent. That's a guy who didn't really understand lighting at the time here, right? So we had light going this way and then light coming, yeah, those type of things you don't think about when you're just starting here. But I really like the way I drew this bad guy's face here. Again, Lucius Vaughn. Is it Lucius? Yuzan Vong, that was his name. And then we have the stormtroopers here, drawing the stormtroopers here. And the stormtroopers turn on this guy. Oops, sorry, I was shaking the camera there. But yeah, so again, the first 4 pages weren't too bad. Okay, then things started going, like I started rushing things. Now, looking at it now, I remember rushing things and I wasn't proud of the rest of the pages. Looking at them now, they're not so bad, but I'll show you some of these panels here. Again, I believe there were a few of these panels that got flipped. I believe this got flipped, if I'm not mistaken. This panel got flipped. Or maybe not. I have to check. I have to go see if I could find that particular issue. Again, the X's, guys, the X's just means fill in black. So you'll see these a lot. And comic paper, if they're not inked, you'll see a lot of X's. A lot of people do that. And little things you notice here and there. And again, I would be, I was inconsistent with my lighting in sorts. I don't think I understood it. Like I was just trying to copy certain people. I think I was trying to copy a Dave Finch type style here. The lighting here, so like it makes sense, but then I'm looking at the construction of this face here, and I didn't know then what I knew now about 3D, about all that stuff that I was talking about in my tutorials. So I see a ton of problems with this face here. I was going into everything. Maybe I was looking at other artists, I was looking at things, but I didn't have that 3D mentality when I was working back in the day. So okay, so let's just quickly go through some of the other pages here. It's a short story. In Star Wars Tales 21, there was multiple stories in here. So it was a very short story. I believe that for sure this panel was flipped. I remember they flipped this in the final. This particular panel here. I totally forgot what this girl's name was. I don't remember at all what this girl's name was. But again, I think they flipped it because I did not judge where the word balloons were going. That's why they needed to flip a few of these panels in the final. Okay, so we got that going there. Okay, so here we go, bedroom scene. I totally forgot what they're talking about. That's one thing of not remembering what the script was. Now, I'm judging my own storytelling. Did I tell the story where I could follow without any word balloons here? And I see, of course, like anatomy problems here. I have anatomy problems now, too. And then maybe too much black here. I shouldn't have done that. Like little mistakes you notice here and there. Her hair is kind of wonky here. Her face is, not too bad. Here, just little things I'm noticing now. Oh, they're about to kiss. Uh-oh, beeper went off. There's problems. Okay, next page here. And then they are, okay, and then they realize what happened. He looks outside. And then they are attacking the city here. Attacking the city here, and the Jedi are fighting them. Okay, so let's zoom out. You can see the full page. There you go. Okay, next page. Next page here. Again, I used to love doing this kind of stuff here, like the wood. I used to love putting detail in the wood, which was absolutely not necessary at certain times. But the good thing is, I'm looking at these now, and I noticed that I did things to try to separate the foreground from the background, which was okay. But I think a lot of my humans need a lot of work here back then. So just showing you guys here some of the action. Like there are some things where that doesn't read well. I had a problem with that, making it read well from panel to panel, making it clear exactly what was going on here in terms of storytelling. Looking at this now in terms of storytelling, maybe it would have been better to have 3 elongated panels here, like this panel here instead of like this, because I was trying to go dynamic with the pose. But it would have read better if it was the exact same thing, but then have this belly sliced. Okay, now I know what's going on more than what's going on here. Like you could tell what's going on here, but it would have read better. So you're always trying to find things storytelling wise that you're trying to keep everything dynamic, but at the same time your story has to be understood. Like you have to understand that story. So okay, so I'll just fly through the last pages. There's only about 4 or 5 pages left here. Going on here, going into a jail here. As you can tell, I love putting those little details in and cracks and stuff, but then things started to mix in, you know. Going, oh, he got the girl. Throws the girl into the cell. See, this doesn't read that well. You know, it's one of those things you're looking for storytelling. Like, okay, I had the bars here, and then him here. Like, he is supposed to be standing over here, but that doesn't read that well here. You don't know where they're standing, type thing. Here. Okay, and then some of you will get this, of course. You know, like for the most part, I think there are enough clues that you'll get it. But it's one of those things where the story could have been told a lot clearer, and I sacrificed some storytelling elements to try to get a cooler shot in. So things I'm picking up right now that could have been done better with this. Okay, and then it's gonna attack here, and then some of this fight scene here. And again, a lot of this would have been better if I pulled back and tried not to go for the dynamic shots. Here, he grabbed his neck here, and then he throws him over. And then she drops the lightsaber. He sees it. Oh no, his lightsaber drops to her. She grabs it here to open up the cell. That's what's going on here. And then they're going to continue the fight here. Okay, and then, oops, sorry, dropping pages all over the place here. Dropping pages all over the place. Now, here, okay, so they're fighting here. He punches in the face, he punches back, but his hand hurts. Okay, more like a thump. He punches him in the gut, and then he has this this bomb device. See, over here I say change, read script. I'm not sure if you can see that here. It says here, change, read script. I don't know if I ever changed this panel. So he takes out the, it looks like an EpiPen, you know. Take out the EpiPen. That would have cost $500 in the States. He takes out the EpiPen, stabs it in the chest, jumps up, kicks it inside here like this. I believe that's a bomb. Yeah, it's definitely a bomb. And then he falls into the window here on the other side. See, this is one of those things, like I should have shown this window in earlier panels to set up the fact he would be going through this window. Like all of a sudden there's this window. This window inside the jail on the other side. I should have set that up. I should have pulled back on some shots. And here. And then the last page here, Like she's still trying to cut herself out. And then he opens the door and she's like, here's back your lightsaber. And then this awkward walking pose that I gave him. And that's it. So that is my Star Wars Tales. My only official work doing Star Wars materials. That was Star Wars Tales number 21. It was the final. There were 3 stories in that issue, and this was the final story. So there you have it. That was my work on Star Wars Tales. It's okay. It's okay. Again, things you pick up as your comic career goes on, all those little mistakes that I mentioned. So, you know, it was what it was. You know, I didn't get a chance to work on Star Wars anymore after that. Mainly because they didn't offer me any more work. But, you know, I was happy for the chance to work on some official Star Wars work. I think you can still probably find this book if you look on Amazon or whatever. So check it out if you ever get the chance. So I have a lot more stacks and stacks of artwork. I'm more than happy to show you every week until I run out of artwork. So thank you for following along. It seems you guys really appreciate when I go back and look at some of my old stuff. So I'm trying to make that a regular thing. So, and I have a lot of great stories along the way. So thank you for following along. Thank you for watching. If you want to, you could check out some of my other throwback episodes. You can do that. Check out this playlist. I'll put another card up here. Check out that playlist right now. Please also subscribe to this channel. Thank you guys so much for the support. I've received so many subscribers in the past few weeks. Really means a lot to me. Also check me out on Facebook Live. I do a lot of live streaming nowadays. Like I've been like this week alone, I've been live streaming pretty much every night, except for last night because I fell asleep. But pretty much almost every night, I'll try to give you guys a warning when I'm coming on. So if you want to draw with me live, you get the opportunity. YouTube, Facebook.com/TheBoxOfficeArtist. Go follow me over there. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. What a fun ride. And I'm just thankful for the opportunity. Thank you for following along. Please follow me on social media. Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, @BoxOfficeArtist. Again, please subscribe to this channel. Like this particular video if you'd like it. And my name is James. I'm the Box Office Artist. Keep drawing, and I will see you all tomorrow.